Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. Today, an observation that comes from my wife. YouTube is not my friend. I've lived vicariously through YouTube in recent months, probably for at least 2 years now. I've had a number of YouTube feeds I've subscribed to. It's almost like the early days of podcasting for me. You get to know people, you get to know their various eccentricities, and the few of them then try desperately to monetize what they're doing, stifling growth and, in general, losing track of things. Casey Neistat, who was the basis of Short Funk in terms of just recording a daily at the time, is returned to daily podcasting. It may be through the summer months, who knows. But this thing just irritates me, and I think it irritates a lot of his previous viewers. Not enough to unsubscribe, but just enough to go, eh. And certainly a number of the folks who I've followed through YouTube for a number of months now are starting to frustrate me. I guess a one-directional relationship, a relationship that is purely through the filming of one person, it's not the same thing as a friendship. It doesn't have the organic material that a friendship has. And in parallel to all of this, I'm very frustrated with Facebook as a medium, and I just start to wonder, maybe I should get used to this reality, like the environment, the cognitive dissonance that one creates oneself, and just the sense of, I don't know, being married but not really being engaged in like a broader community of humans. Obviously I go to work, obviously I interact with co-workers, these kind of things, but I find myself more and more as I get older and older a recluse, in part through choice, but also in part through the nature of the work that I do, and also production. My co-workers talk quite candidly associated with buying large screen televisions and these kind of things. When I come to some free time, I immediately think of projects, audio editing that needs to be done, software that needs to be written, things that I need to do to continue to motivate a lot of the developments that I'm involved with. And ultimately, at this stage in my life, it is almost isolating. It is quite strange that in recording podcasts and putting audio out there and creating communities through audio, I find a degree of isolation through that as well, if nothing more, through the time consumption, these kind of things. My wife and I have endeavoured, particularly as spring emerges, to get out of our area at least once each weekend. In the foreseeable future, this will probably have to slow down in some regard, but I'm very mindful that this outward gazing that one has at this time of year as spring opens up, this is very motivating in terms of critically evaluating things like, why have you spent so long doing things but watching YouTube in a kind of strange, cathartic relationship? And once one starts to identify that actually it's more exciting to be outside, to be gardening, to be mowing the lawn, to be engaging with the external environment, what does it leave? What does it leave, really, but a Short Funk recording? Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.